Hey guys, Ningen here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and today, as you can see from the title and the thumbnail, JP players everywhere, getting ready to drop some salt. Maybe when you see this, there's already some dislikes from some salty JP players, but who knows. So this is the global exclusive double EZA Vegito rotation. So I figured, just to update anyone who isn't completely aware, obviously I did not stream the Vegito EZA this morning. It was the first time in, well, possibly ever since I got my channel. Well, maybe not, there's probably one or two somewhere, but where I was unable to stream the EZA when it went live, because unfortunately I couldn't get out of, wow, look at that, 1.64 million crit counter. I couldn't get out of working, so obviously because I wanted to get some showcases and stuff like that done like as soon as possible, I decided to get the EZA done at work, like off screen, and then come home straight away so I can make some content. Now, one thing I did think, because I'm already behind the curve, like by the time this video goes up, depending how slow YouTube wants to be, it's very possible that like everybody else has already uploaded their first videos showing off the Rainbow Vegito. So I thought, what would be an interesting angle to try and show him off in a different light? And who knows, knowing my luck, by the time this video gets uploaded, maybe someone's actually already done this. But I did realise that, of course, because we on Global have the Vegito Blue EZA and JP doesn't, it means we can run both EZA Vegitos together on the same rotation on the Patara team. So we had to build the team in a certain way. Obviously my LR Vegito is Rainbow. I tried to find the weakest friend I could. So I believe the friend is 69%. Literally it was only that or Rainbows. So I decided to grab him. Obviously he's always going to kind of dominate on any team because he's just that good. But we are going to float off my one and then we'll just keep the other one on the other rotation. And I did have to change up some of my supports because Supreme Kai of Time works perfectly here because she's an all allies supporter. But some of the units that we could bring, like for example the West Kai, who we brought to support Vegito Blue when he first EZA'd, only supports Realm of Gods, so doesn't support AGL Vegito. Same with the STR Goku Black from the World Tournament. He only supports Time Travelers and Future, which is of course again physical Vegito Blue but not Super Vegito. So that's why we've got the Tech Vegito here. So we should have them on rotation together next turn after this. So let's keep the friend Vegito and my Rose. I decided to throw Rose in as the other unit. Obviously you want to have someone else on rotation with the other Vegito. So I decided why not make it Rose, since, you know, it was been one of my favourite units for quite a long time. You guys will remember if you've been around the channel for a long time. Even like, maybe even a full year after he came out, I used to still argue that he was like one of the top TURs in the game. So anyway, let's get on to some details about Super Vegito. I'm sure most of you know these already. Like I said, I'm probably a bit behind the curve on videos depending on who's uploaded what already. But let's go over him very briefly as we start our rotation that we've been waiting for here. So obviously we've got to go ahead and put him first with the old type advantage. So this should be pretty crazy. So he does immense damage to the enemy, greatly raises allies attack by 35% for one turn. So it's basically just a 5% increase from the pre-EZA. But that's still good. Always been good to put him in the first slot and buff everyone up. Physical Vegito Blue is obviously going to get a huge advantage out of that, especially if he then starts firing off multiple super attacks. Oof. Then his passive, so before he literally just had minus 80% from normals and counter. Now he has attack and defense 40% within the same turn after receiving an attack, so he does have to be hit first. Which is kind of annoying for the rotation that we have here, because obviously he's not getting hit before he then attacks, but you do want him to be in the first slot, which is kind of annoying. He foresees enemy super attacks when HP is 40% or less, and then damage is still minus 80% and counters with tremendous power. It doesn't matter too much that they didn't increase that 80%, because obviously he got an EZA boost to his stats. So yeah, 1.1 million with no support. Definitely would have been better if he'd been hit first like he has now. So yeah, this is where we'll then see, even without crits, we're firing off almost 1 million damage counters, and then there's the super, which Fortunately, we have type advantage. He has received his defense increase, though, so... Yeah, 66, that's not too bad. Be interested to see how he does with support when we can get him on a turn where he actually gets hit first. Because that's kind of the problem, is you do want to run him in the first slot because of that ability to buff everybody else on the rotation. But if there's no attack in the first slot, then he's not going to get his passive. Or at least he's not going to get it for his normal attacks. It is going to boost his counters, though, which is obviously still going to be very good. Like, he's going to be able to dish out some pretty crazy damage. I can't avoid an 80. Well, it doesn't matter, actually. Rose is going to finish him off. So, I think next turn we actually have them with Supreme Opie of Time, which is going to be the best rotation, because she gives 30% to attack and defense. Now, obviously, despite the many differences that they do have, which we mentioned before, you know, there's a couple of categories differential, obviously. They do link reasonably well, because they both have Fused Fighter, and they both have Prepared for Battle. So, AGL Vegito has Shocking Speed, Physical Vegito Blue has Over in a Flash, but because of Fused Fighter being another 2 key link, then that's 4 key, which is more than enough. I mean, look, with the key support from the Supreme Kai, we're auto-supering, so that's fine. And then, of course, they both have Super Saiyan, they both have Power Bestowed by God, because that is like a Patara Earrings thing. And then, obviously, they do both have Fierce Battle. So, they are actually really good link partners. I think maybe, because they're both counter units, you probably want to run them on separate rotations. I don't know. But here we're getting hit first, so this is good. Full passive active, support on the rotation. Yeah, 2.1 million damage. Because AGL Super Vegito is a unit that aged pretty well. Like, I used him on Patara Super Battle Road, and even with no items active, he still takes double digits from normal attacks, as long as they're not type disadvantage. So they didn't need to really do anything defensively. Just the only problem was that in the current meta, and maybe even you could argue for the last, like, 6 to 12 months maybe, he just didn't do enough damage to, like, be one of the top units on the team. But then the fact that once you weighed in, like, those counters and stuff, it definitely increased his usefulness. Oh, we're not going to be able to avoid... Are we going to... Can I not get a Dokkan attack here? Damn. That would have been nice to get on the next turn, but... Anyway, we're at Cell already, so we are going through this mode very quickly with this team, unsurprisingly. Like, the Patara team is incredibly powerful, so... But yeah, so Super Vegito, you're often finding, if you used him in like Patara Super Battle Road, for example, his super wouldn't do a lot of damage, but the buff was nice to allies. And then, of course, his counters, like, if you didn't crit, you weren't dealing huge amounts of damage. So his EZA, whilst a lot of people considered it to be underwhelming on JP, it definitely shored up some areas where he wasn't quite top tier. Because, like, if you're using him as like a counter unit, and then he's basically doing no damage with his counters, then yeah, the like tanking normal attacks was nice, but he would still get hit ridiculously hard from a super, and if you're not dealing damage back on the counters, it's not necessarily the best trade-off. So I do think this EZA, whilst it's not as ridiculous as Physical Vegito Blue, because obviously, you know, we got super lucky with Vegito Blue's EZA, because he is insane. There's no attacks in the first slot, so let's do this. Knowing my luck, now that it's not a video about him, Physical Vegito Blue is actually going to pop off and deal like 4 super attacks, but we will see. We do have the buff from the other... Yes, he's at like 2 million, so he probably just kills Cell by himself here. Yeah, of course he does additional super. So, the one thing that you're probably not going to see in a lot of events, hell, we might not even see it in this event. Although, actually, I guess if we hadn't Dokkan attacked, we would, because we wouldn't have been healed. But the ability to foresee enemy super attacks, but only when you're under 40% HP. Like, 40% is a pretty, like, tight restriction. And I think, like, Super Battle Road, you're going to be able to see that. And that's actually going to be super useful, because obviously in Super Battle Road, you're going to want to line Vegito up in order to tank and deal out counter damage. And then there's nothing worse than putting him in a slot and then like 2 of the 3 enemies that are attacking him super attack you. because obviously pre-EZA he still took a lot of damage from supers, and then of course you don't get the counter, which is the whole reason you put him in front of all of those attacks in the first place. So being able to foresee the enemy supers is an ability that is actually really broken for a counter unit, so I can kind of understand why they gave the 40%. I think 50% would have still been fine. Like, we've got a lot of 50% restrictions in the game that are still very difficult to get, like for example the fact that because Potara is so strong, like, we still haven't transformed with either of our Vegetos, and we are way more than 6 turns into the event. So 50% HP restriction is still not the best restriction. I think they could have maybe given him that and it wouldn't have made him like completely broken. Because yeah, like, you imagine if that ability was super easy to get, almost every single event, like every rotation, you pop in, you've got Vegito, and you're like, right, that's where the enemy's super attacking, so I'm going to put Vegito here instead and get a guaranteed like 2 or 3 counters. And then if it's Super Battle Road, like, we've all seen those rotations where they stack up like 5 or 6 attacks in the first slot, and then the one random attack in the middle is a super attack. So if his ability procs, and you can see that that one attack in the middle is a super, and all the attacks in the first slot are just normal attacks, you can just throw him in the first slot, and then you don't even need to use an item, depending obviously who the unit you're actually going to have take the super is going to be. And yeah, he's just not going to take any damage, and he's just going to dish out a ton of damage back. Obviously if one of those attacks is in the first slot, then he is going to get a ton of counters and his full passive, which is, I mean, you can't really say enough about how much better he is. Like, you saw that difference. We did have a support unit, so that does skew it a lot, but we went from just over 1 million attack stat to just over 2 million attack stat by him being hit first. So he is incredibly powerful in the right circumstances. Definitely for the legendary Goku event, as we know, I'm sure from experience, it's very easy to fall below 40% HP depending on where he decides to super attack, so that could work out really well. The only problem is you are going to run into situations where you're on full health on the turn where you do have Super Vegito, and then he takes a super attack. You go into the next turn and you're under 40% HP, but then you have to heal, and then you get round to Super Vegito again and you can't. But here you go. So now we can see here. So the first attack is a super, so I guess we could put Vegito there. He's going to heal, then he's going to normal attack, and then he's going to super, because we do want him to get his full passive, really. So with support, how much damage will he actually take from a super? This will be kind of interesting to see. I am obviously going to heal first, but or in fact I could go ahead and actually, wait, no, let me double check. No, he can't be sealed. I almost made a real bad mistake and was like, hey, I'll just use a bar button, then he can't super me, but we can't do that. So we're going to heal, and we'll also get an attack up. So this will be the best attack stat that we'll see from Vegito. 9 damage. So counter. Let's see this super attack then. How much are we going to take? We got the defensive buff because we got hit first. Yeah, see, 250. So he's still not really built for taking supers. But one strength of this team is obviously the fact that Vegito here, with the support from Supreme Kai, even if he does only get the one super, which he's going to go ahead and super again, he's not going to take any damage. Then Supreme Kai is going to raise her defense with her super attack, and she won't take a huge amount of damage. Or Vegito's just going to kill him, because double super, yeah, GG. So even though we took 250k, when every single attack on the rest of the rotation is a normal attack, and both the units on your rotation counter, yeah, you do a lot of damage. Oh, look at this. That super attack couldn't have just done, what, like 20k, 30k more damage, and then we could have transformed, really? So, typical shenanigans there. So we'll go ahead and do this. We'll do this. This could be a bad turn if that if that attack in the middle is a super. So I am actually going to go ahead and use this just because I want to survive the turn. I wasn't planning to do the full stage, but considering we've made it this far, and we're only slightly over how long I probably would have wanted the video to be anyway, I guess we might as well at least see one more rotation of double Vegitos. If we don't finish him off on the next turn or we die, then it is what it is. I know sometimes some people, and I do most of the time, shy away from like dying in a showcase, but like we're trying to showcase the unit as he performs in the game. So if you're playing the game and he takes a super and you die, then that just shows that the unit is not built for tanking super attacks, and then you need to try and strategize your playstyle around them not taking supers. So like if we get to the next turn and Super Vegito gets super attacked again and we die, I'm not just gonna like scrub the whole thing and start over. But let's see. So this is the problem. We do want him in the first slot to get that buff, but if the super comes in the first slot, considering he took 250k last time and now we have type disadvantage, we probably will die. So let's see. Whereas I think Vegito Blue, especially after supering a couple of times, he won't die. So let's see. Yeah, see, look, double digits. Cell, final stage of this event. Obviously the hardest hitting part of the event, and he has type advantage. And we take double digits from normal attacks. So that's really, hey, there you go. So Vegito hopefully should be all good, or should I say Vegito Blue. Even with only one super, we shouldn't die from a super attack from Cell. But come on. Another super Vegito, pop off and let's take out Cell once and for all. No, okay, so now he's going to get supered. Oh wow, so he still took around 250k, okay. But the normal attacks are now just going to not do anything, so... Oh, one more crit counter, do it. Oh, damn it, I thought there was one more attack. Tech Vegito's not going to finish this off. So close. And now we finally get the fusion. So there you go. We'll end the video with the LR Super Vegito himself had to step in and take care of business. Oh, of course, until we got attack sealed in the first slot. Great. So as long as Rose doesn't get supered, we should win. But wow, what a bunch of twists and turns have been in this video. But there you go. That is the fully rainbowed, fully easy aid Super Vegito, able to be run on global with the EZA physical Vegito Blue. They work super well together. I think we showed that very well in this video, and we smashed through this event fairly quickly considering how long some of these runs can be. So let me know what you think of them down below. Have you tried out this rotation yourself? I do think it's pretty awesome to run. We will have to take them into Potara Super Battle Road as well. And I do want to check him out against the Legendary Goku event, because against the MUI Goku, he should probably still be pretty strong. Yeah, see, that's my new record for that stage. I don't really ever try speed runs, but considering we use 2 healing items and no damage mitigation, that's actually pretty solid. So there you go. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below. And I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.